everybody? This is Sean of Raw Select Music, and I'm back from the dead. Last week I didn't get a video up, and that was due to the fact that I'd been up for about 24 hours, and it was extremely hungover due to copious amounts of beer and some shots that I'm still not entirely sure what they were. And as a result, the day after the event, I pretty much spent it in and out of consciousness, which basically made me completely useless for the entire day. But I am back and should be back to a regular upload schedule as of this video. So self-induced alcohol poisoning aside, last week I did get to DJ with one of my personal favorite Japanese DJs, Mr. Grooveman Spot, and now being the third time that I've had a chance to DJ with him, once again did not disappoint and just had a set that completely blew my expectations out of the water. But why take my word for it? Here's some footage. So not only was Grooveman Spot's DJing on point, but everybody who was a support DJ as well for the event, they all killed it as well. So, I mean, I gotta grab my phone so I don't miss any names as far as the shoutouts go, but shoutouts to DJs Yoshi, the owner of the club where the event was held, which is a club in Niigata called 7. DJ I&I, who's, he's one of the best DJs for instrumental hip-hop in Niigata, as well as Sound Igarashi. My good friend Pubmaster X, I still love that DJ name. Good friend Ray Hori, who I DJ with at another event. Yamaken, who I never talked to. And then final shout-out has to go to my good friend Show Break, who every time that Grooveman Spot has come to Niigata, has always invited me to play. I gotta give him a special salute and shout out for always making me a part of the event. I still think he's one of the illest DJs in Niigata, but why take my word for it? Here's some more footage. Actually, the only footage that I don't have from the event is of me DJing. I don't normally film myself, largely because I'm more focused on DJing and not fucking up, and just trying to take my phone out and have one more thing that I'm trying to pay attention to. It's just too much work, and I'm just not that narcissistic. Okay, I'm a little narcissistic. I wouldn't have a YouTube channel if I wasn't at least a little narcissistic. But anyways, that's enough about the Grooveman Spot event. If you want to see me do more sort of on the floor, boots on the ground, sort of clips and highlights of events around Niigata, please let me know. I definitely think there aren't a lot of people that are talking about this, and certainly not to the sort of behind the scenes or the intimate sort of experience that I have within the Japanese club scene. Basically what I'm saying is, if you like this sort of shit and want to know more about it, let me know in the comments and I will try to make it a habit of shooting more video. But anyways, I didn't want to just talk about this event in general, this event. I wanted to focus more on what is it like to DJ or be a DJ or make your own events in Japan. I thought this might be an interesting topic. A Steam It friend and also real-life close friend, Boxcar Blue, posted a little blog post about this topic, and I thought I could weigh in with my own personal experience and try to give you at least, if not an in-depth look into what DJing is like in Japan, at least give you a first-hand account of what it's like. Thought this might be interesting. Let's get into it. I've been DJing in Niigata for about 11 years, which is roughly the amount of time that I've been living in Japan. I was doing house parties in Chicago before I moved here. I had sort of been bitten pretty badly by the DJ bug and wanted to see how far I could make it while I was over here. So as soon as I moved to Niigata, which is where I've always lived in Japan, it's about 3 hours outside of Tokyo. Ever since I moved to Japan, there we go, I've basically been doing every single kind of party you can imagine. I've done birthday parties, I've done Halloween parties, I've done New Year's parties, I've done, I think I've actually done a couple of weddings as well. And it wasn't until about 6 or so years later that I sort of became part of the Japanese DJ scene. I was mostly playing with a lot of foreigners, with the occasional Japanese support DJ. But anyways, about 6, 7 years ago, I started DJing with Japanese events, starting with Key of Life, which is a long-running house and disco event. Shout out to everybody in the Key of Life group. And from there, I started my own party, which was called Lazy Sunday, which eventually became Raw Select Sunday. And I haven't done one of those events in a while. Still not entirely sure what the future of that event is. That's a story for another time. And since then, I've been doing mostly events where I play with other Japanese people. And most of the crowd that shows up to these events are, I would say, 99% Japanese people. So I've become, I wouldn't call a staple, I'm sort of a weird enigma or a ghost in the machine in the Japanese DJ scene. But through that, I've had some crazy experiences. I've gotten a chance to meet up with a lot of different people, including Julian Dine, Lord Echo, Prince Thomas, what's his name, Todd Terrier, and then most recently, outside of the Grooveman Spot event, I got to promote an event with none other than Tall Black Guy, one of my favorite hip-hop producers. Shout out to Tall Black Guy. If you ever get a chance to see him play live, highly, highly recommended. He is just phenomenal and also a really, really nice guy. That was quite an experience promoting my own event. But I think that's enough background about me. Let me try to get into the nitty-gritty of what it's like to do an event and put an event together in Japan. The majority of people who DJ or throw their own parties in Niigata, or in my estimation, the rest of Japan, they do it just because they enjoy it, for the love of the music, and in general, at least coming from my own personal feelings, it's just something fun to look forward to when the work week is over. Just off the top of my head, people that I know who I've either DJ'd with or gone to their events, they work in television, they work in restaurants, they work as bar staff, they work in hair salons, some of them are farmers, some of them work in nursing care. In the case of myself, I'm an English teacher, specifically a children's English teacher. And doing a DJ event is just something where you've got something to look forward to at the end of the work week, where you can get some friends together and listen to some, for lack of a better way of expressing it, just some dope music with each other. But at the end of the day, if you make any money, it's going to be a pretty tiny amount. And in general, you're generally going to end up losing money if you do a DJ event, and I will explain why. But first, here's your Japanese lesson, courtesy of Raw Select Music for today. Please repeat after me, students. Today's word is hakodai. I guess hakodai could roughly be translated as rental fee, but I don't think that's entirely accurate. I'd say guarantee is more apt for trying to translate what hakodai actually means. Because essentially what it comes down to is it's like a guarantee between whoever manages or owns the spot where you want to do the party and your group that is throwing the party, that a certain number of people will show up. And usually the amount that you have to cover will depend on the size of the space. Smaller, usually it can be pretty reasonable, being like $200 or Niman. And if it's a larger capacity venue, it can go as far as Juman, which is about $1,000. And essentially how it works is, depending on the fee that you charge, and the typical fee that I see for most parties around Niigata is usually either $1,500 or $2,000 to get in, plus one drink. And then from that money, the venue will decide how much they want from each person that comes in. And once that fee is covered, every person that comes in after that is money that pays out to the people who throw the party. Or at least that's kind of how I understand that it works, because seemingly everybody has their own sort of convoluted system for how they do hakodai. And it's actually one of the most infuriating parts of doing an event, where you're still never entirely certain how much money they actually are taking from you for every person that comes in, or at least putting towards the hakodai fee. And that's always been immensely infuriating to me. But regardless, if you're going to do an event, unless you're really good with the owner, or it's not you throwing the party in general, if it's not your party, you're going to have to worry about hakodai. And why I say this is potentially a problem is, if your party basically eats shit, you are responsible for paying the remainder of that hakodai. And it can be pretty pricey and kind of a gamble if you don't think that your party's going to do all that well. Now, in my experience, I've actually done pretty well. I think there's only been 1 or 2 instances where I've had to pay out of my own pocket what money wasn't covered by the people who attended the event. But this also leads to another thing that I want to bring up, is a lack of comped drinks. One of the benefits to DJing when I first moved to Niigata was, most places, and here's a Japanese tangent, again, a good Japanese word to know, nomi hodai, which translates to all you can drink. And another little tangent real quick, definitely go check out my friend's YouTube channel, The Meantime. He actually just did a video recently discussing and sort of detailing not only the wonderful world of the nomi hodai, but how some of the drinking culture works in Japan. It's a pretty interesting video. He's a really funny guy. Definitely check him out. Pretty much, more often than not, you're going to be paying for your drinks out of your own pocket. Maybe you might play at a venue that'll throw you a bone and give you 2 or 3 drinks. If you're a functioning alcoholic like me, that's usually not enough. And if you're not and can actually go an entire 6 to 8 hour event and not be completely obliterated by the end of the night, I salute you and hats off to you. It's probably the best way to do it. But anyways, my questionable drinking habits aside, in general, you are going to be paying for your own drinks, which at the end of the day kind of sucks. And it's just one more thing to consider as far as money that you will not have at the end of the day. So you might be thinking to yourself right now, Sean, you sound awfully negative. Why the fuck do you still do events? Well, my own little bitterness aside with the whole stupid system that exists within Japan, I still enjoy it. I still enjoy playing music for other people. I still enjoy getting together with friends and hearing what kind of music that they're into, because I've always found that listening to other people can allow me to springboard and hear music that normally I wouldn't listen to. So the long and short of it is, DJing for me is a passion project, and much like most passion projects in life, it may not make money right away, and hopefully in the future it will actually start making some money. If anybody want to start paying me for DJ events, that'd be greatly appreciated. But anyways, long story short, I still enjoy doing it. I've actually got an event coming up with an old DJ partner. We used to do events together back in the day. I'm super excited for that event, and I will be definitely taking footage of that and even hopefully interviewing him, because he is a very interesting individual, but I'm going to leave that a secret for now. But that has been a brief overview. It probably went a little bit longer than I thought it would. Hopefully you found that interesting. Hopefully you found that a little bit insightful into the world of putting an event together and kind of what it's like to be a DJ. If you are interested, like I said at the beginning of the video, of seeing more videos like this, sort of the slice of life, talking about music, but also talking about the sort of Japanese experience, let me know. Comment down below. I definitely plan on doing more on the ground videos. I do apologize. I meant to get an interview with Grooveman Spot this last time. I didn't get a chance to, and logistically it was kind of weird. This time I actually only saw him at the event. In the past, I've gone record shopping with him, and I was hoping to do it then. That did not happen, but I am planning to ambush him up in Sendai, and hopefully at that time I can get an interview with him, and hopefully get an interview with some other people around town as well. I am going to be going back into my record reviews in the future, and hopefully even starting up a couple of different segments as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Once again, like, comment, subscribe, do as everybody else says. Check out everything in my links in the description that take you to my blog, and you can find out more. Also, like I said, as I threw in to the middle of the video, check out my friend the Meantime's YouTube channel. It's immensely entertaining. He's definitely putting a lot more effort into his editing style, but immensely entertaining stuff, and hopefully you learn a little bit about not only what life in Japan is, but about motivation. I might be doing an interview with him in the future as well. Anyways, I'm rambling. This is going on way too long. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.